Welcome to the Art Lady's home. I'm going to share with you my Myers lemon tree. And I have started training it to go up and over the arbor. And that way the little lemons can hang down into the arbor area. And it was so pretty. About a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, well, actually they've been forming all summer, but there were beautiful little lemons hanging down. And I didn't have time to video, and I had 3 or 4 of them in the center here hanging down. It was so pretty. I didn't even get a picture. And now I only have, I think, 1 hanging down. Every time we get rain or wind, they will drop on my ground. But there's only 1 little one hanging down left. But it was so pretty. But I want to show you, even though it's only 1, I'm going to show you it. But you get the idea of what it looks like. And I originally got this idea in Spain, and then I went to Portugal, and they had little alleys of lemon trees, and you walk down the whole park of this kind of, actually it was pretty long, it was probably 500 feet of them. And they even had them growing on the side of a street as a street tree in the town, just lemon trees everywhere. And so then I went home, and I had this lemon tree here, this Myers lemon tree, just planted in this space next to the arbor. And I said, I'm going to make a little alley of Myers lemons like I saw in Spain and Portugal. So I now have planted a few of them on each side, and so they'll grow up this. And then I've since trained, there's another one over here on the end, and then I've since trained the larger one I already had, so it tips up and over the arbor. But I just thought it was so pretty, and I like the idea of the lemons dropping down, or not dropping, but hanging in the arbor area. And it actually worked. It was so pretty to see them. And as you can see here, there's only 1 left. But, and actually here's another one that's isn't yellow yet, or ripe. But this is the Myers lemon tree arbor. And I think it'll be so romantic when you have the other one growing up too, which will take a few more years. The plant is now 4 feet tall, and it'll start taking off. I think I've had it in here for 2 years. And so sometimes it takes a couple years in ground, and then once it starts taking off, it goes crazy. This large tree that's over the arbor, I don't even remember how many years I've had it here. And the first few years, it doesn't do much. And then what I did to it, and I'll show you, to get it to flower, and I don't think it's good to have young trees producing fruit, whether it be mango trees or citrus trees. Let the tree get bigger and produce good strong branches, and then you can let it fruit and keep fruit. And the tree will do that. It will, like for years I've had this tree produce lots of flowers, and then it wouldn't hold fruit. So it knows when it can hold the fruit, and so it may produce flowers but then not hold fruit if it's not ready. But this tree was, I want to say, maybe 5, 6 feet tall, and it wouldn't produce flowers, that's right. So I did what I have done in the past when I've had stubborn citrus trees, and I've had a grapefruit tree that was 20 feet tall, maybe. No, not quite 20. It was probably 12 feet tall. It was a little bit taller than the. No, maybe it was. Yeah, it was 12 feet because it was a little bit taller than my house, but it was huge. The circumference was. I'm talking about the canopy. 15 feet maybe, and it wouldn't produce fruit, and that's how big it was when I moved in. And so what I did, and I forget where I read it or heard it, but this was 25 years ago, is you make a slice in the trunk of the tree. You can see where I did the slice here. And you just slice through the bark and into the cambium layer, which is a layer underneath the bark or part of the bark. And this is where it's healed. Just a thin slice with a clean knife. And that shocks the tree into flowering. Now this tree is as thick as your wrist, and I did it probably 3-4 years ago. And if you do it in the fall, winter, the following spring, it will flower. And I did that to my tree that was, it was old, but the trunk was at least 8 inches to 10 inches wide. And when I moved into the house, it wasn't flowering, and I lived there a couple years, and it wasn't flowering. And then I don't know if it was the farmer that told me this from the orange grove, but I read it, or somewhere it told me about the slice, and sure enough, it did the trick. And I did it on this tree. I've done it on key lime trees, and I think I did it on my orange tree too. But that's a secret to make them, force them into bloom when they're ready. If they're only 2 or 3 feet tall, don't even bother. They're not ready to hold and produce. But once they get a little bit bigger, if they're not flowering, you can try that method. But there is a little bit of tips on making a little citrus arbor. And I did tie it back to force these branches over this arbor. I'm using just thick plastic, and I made it into thick strips and gathered it together. I also have a bungee. There's actually a bungee right there too. But I'm trying to force these branches up and over. And then once they harden off that way, then I can remove the plastic. But the plastic is kind of protecting each branch too, so that it doesn't gouge into the citrus. But the citrus branches are pretty tough. And I do have a lot of leaf miners, which are driving me absolutely nuts. So I've got to work on figuring out how to take care of that better. And I did spray it this spring, and then some, it got it all over it again. So I might have to up my chemicals, because I think I was using spinoside, something like that. And it just didn't seem to work that great. But there is the lemon arch, and a little bit on care. I do use organic fertilizer, and I feed them heavy, and I feed the whole area, this entire flower bed here. I sprinkle it all over the ground here, and even into the grass, because the roots are spreading out from that tree, and that helps too. If you don't feed them, they're not going to produce and hold flowers. And so that's just what I do. And I've done citrus tone. That I really like. I believe it's like an organic citrus tone. And, I actually see another one. Sometimes you don't see them. There's another one right over that arch. Right there. It's green. It's hard to see them. They blend right into the leaves. There's another one. But the yellow ones do need to be picked. And for the fruit here in Central Florida, you don't pick citrus until you have a little bit of a cold snap. And we had a cold snap that was a little bit earlier this year. Which was unusual. I think it was early December or late November. And then that caused our fruit to ripen a lot earlier on the branches. And especially with oranges, you always wait for oranges, grapefruit, for that cold snap, and that apparently sweetens them up. And then you can pick them. But with this lemon tree, all throughout the summer, they usually flower in the spring. And then I did get, throughout the summer as well, some flowers, and that's why I have some itty bitty babies still forming. And then I have, ones that are actually, they're falling on the ground. They're so ripe. If you don't pick them, sometimes the wind. I like to leave mine on as long as I can because I'm not going to pick them all and then waste in the refrigerator. So I leave them on the tree as long as I can, and I pick them as I need them. So I hope you learned a little bit about citrus, and I'm not a citrus expert. I've just been growing them as a home gardener for years, and it's kind of like trial and error what I've done that works. And like I said, I don't know if that cutting that bottom of that citrus is going to work or not, but it did for me. Here is the alley of citrus, and this is in Malaga, Spain, and near Alcobaza. We just visited the Alcobaza castle, fortress, and then we walked down at the base, and then we stumbled upon this beautiful citrus alley. And it was just mesmerizing. And look how long that is. That's just amazing. And I loved looking up over all this ripe citrus fruit. Just beautiful. And this was in, I believe, December. So right around the same time as I filmed my little LA. And which I'm almost thinking we're in the same zone anyways because the weather was very similar. So, yeah, so this is my inspiration picture, so I hope you enjoy it.